doing an unexpected live today because why not? I'm going to do a little dog themed wreath, right? So we're going to kind of do a little bit of a little bone down here, right? And then do a little bow up here. Maybe have some tails cascading out. Do something really, really pretty. All right. Awesome. All right, let's see what I can get done here. I'm going to use good old chenille stems. Remove my glue gun, make sure you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is take this dog bone. I got this from the Craig Bachman warehouse sale, but you can search this at retailers like Craft Outlet and whatnot. It's got nice little bars on the back. That's what I'm going to use to attach this on here. This isn't really going to be so much as a tutorial. It's just kind of like watching me make something. I don't really plan this out, so I'm going to wing it. Okay, so I just twisted pipe cleaners right onto the back here. All right, now figure out where do I want this to go. Like here and here, definitely at an angle. I could go up and down, but that looks kind of weird, so I want to go kind of on an angle. So I just shove these right through the grapevine. Now, fortunately, this particular grapevine it's an airy grapevine. It's got a lot of space here between all this stuff, so I'm just gonna try to force it through. It's harder to do this when it's on a stand. It just is. That's all right. I'm just gonna get this other side through. Feeding this through. Come on. All right, I'm gonna need my tool. This is a real cool tool. It's basically just a file with a hole in the end. I just push this right through here. And I can use this to push it through the grapevine. And it brings it out. And boom, there we go. Nice and easy. All right, give it a good twist. Nice, good twist along the back there. Okay. And then, because it's not even, I like to trim these even. And I can just take this and poke it right back into the grapevine. Poke it right back in. All right, now I have the bottom one to do. Let's see if I can get the bottom one on easier, if I've got to use my tool on that one too. That went through a lot easier. There we go. Question is, do I like? Yep, looks good to me. All right, so I'm twisting this too. All right, everybody loves some dog themed stuff, right? Little puppies. You can get a wreath for your dog. I mean, they you know, you can explain that you got it for them because you love them so much. All right, poking this through the back there. All right, here we go. It's on there nice and tight, not going anywhere. Awesome. All right, so I have a variety. Oh, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for gifting. Oh my gosh, Cheesecake Joyce, I appreciate it. Thank you. I have some of these. These are little leaves. Okay, so we're gonna start. Now remember, we kind of want this to kind of be our center point right here. I'm gonna build out this way. I'm gonna build out this way. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I will be building a bow, but for right now, I want to put my greenery in here just to get some of it going. So I'm gonna start with this. See, it's gonna start here, so I want my leaves to start here. I don't want the stem. Okay, so I got that put in there. And if for some reason this starts poking out too much or too far, you can always take a little bit of floral wire, kind of pull it in here to kind of like give it a little extra support. Let's do an example of that now. All right, so I'm gonna grab my green floral wire. Just gonna grab some of it. I want to add just a little support. Say it's coming out a little too much, or I just want to make sure it's gonna be on there. So I'm gonna wrap this. I'm just gonna put my wire right on through. I mean, you can always use glue, but here in the Midwest, you know, glue is iffy at best. Okay, so I literally just brought my wire through. And I'm just going to twist it around that a couple times. And then snip it. And there we go. Now we've got just a little extra support. It is glued in there down at the base. All right. I'm just going to take those ends and kind of poke it down. This is just going to make sure that the leaves don't come flying forward, okay? But then, you know, I can still bend this. It's still, right? So you can't even tell. Looking good, okay? Now I have another one. I got one of these. So I'm going to glue this. I prefer to use a glue gun instead of a glue pot because I tend to burn myself badly when I use a glue pot. Because I'm a dork, right? All right, that looks good. Let me grab another glue stick, get that one. Add it in here. Here we go. So I was supposed to be watching Thunderbolts, the new Marvels movie right now. And my 12-year-old daughter suddenly decided she didn't want to go. And I'm a single mom, so I'm a widowed mom, so I have no one to leave her with. So she didn't want to go, so I didn't get to go either. Isn't that great? You know, sometimes I wonder who is the parent and who's the child here. Who's really in charge? Who's really in charge? But I didn't fight it. I respected her being a pain in my ass. Decided she didn't want to go. Okay, I'm going to put 2 more pieces up top, and then I got some to put around the bottom. So I do want this to kind of come around a little more, so I'm going to put one of these right in here. Now this is that's kind of long, so I'm going to trim it. So, you know, I like it to be about between 3 to 4 inches. But again, this grapevine, it's not like super dense. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's go the other way now. Gotta kind of come down with this one. So if I kind of wanted that there, going in with it like right there. Just covering just a little bit right down there. All right. Doing the rest of this. Putting on this base greenery. This is not my most favorite part. Not even close. But it's got to be done. All right. But it's got to be done. All right. Getting another one of these on. Because we're going to have, don't forget what I said about our bow. That didn't really work. There we go. There we go. That's why I like having this wired, because you can bend it and then it bends nicely. All right, we're going to put in one more. So again, here is kind of our center point, okay? But I want to fill this in right here too. So I'm going to kind of bend the wire. That's why we love wired stuff, because it listens to us, unlike our children. All right. I'm coming in here. There we go. I am pretty happy with the greenery base we've got. Nice and good. Okay. So now, before I do anything with the florals, I like to make my bow and put it on. That way I can kind of tell where it's going to go, how it's going to go. So this bow is going to go in the middle. But then I was thinking of having some cascades coming around to the sides and then going down. So I could either make it that way in the bow, or I could add cascading tails on later. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do. In which I think this might be my main pattern, because I think this is cute. Check that out. It's got little paws. It's got a little chugger down there, little bones. Super, super cute. All right. Well, let's start making the bow. Maybe I'll make up my mind as we do it. All right. So I'm going to push this back. I'm going to try to make it so you guys can see as best you can what I'm doing here. So I have a bow making tool. Okay, this is my bow maker. It is called the Easy Bows Design Pro. I do have a link tree in my profile. It's linked there. You can go to the Easy Bows. There's lots of different styles. This is the Pro because, you know, I got a business. But they've got much smaller ones too that are much easier for beginners to use. I like the plastic one because the dowels don't come out. Okay, now I'm not using any 4-inch ribbon on this, and I might actually not even use all the patterns I've got. So what I've collected here is I've got a dog bone, I've got a solid, then I have black and red, and then this checkered. But I think I'm going to leave that one out. I think I'm going to kind of focus just on these 4. Okay, see how this kind of repeats a little bit to kind of bring that in. But I like this, kind of brightens it up. Otherwise, this does seem like it's going to get a little dark with all that red. Okay, so I'm going to start with the black and white as my main pattern down at the base layer. So I'm just going to take this. Now this is a 2.5 inch. This is wired. You guys have to use wired ribbon. Wired ribbon is a must. Okay, that's how you get your loops to stay nice and big and fluffy. Otherwise, your loops get all floppy and they look like they need ribbon Viagra, if you know what I mean. Yeah. All right. So if I'm going to have tail and a loop, you know what? I think honestly, I'm just going to make the bow and I'm going to put the cascades in later behind it. That'll be done by using a pipe cleaner, or maybe I won't. I don't know. But for right now, I'm not going to do it that way. But this is about, I would say about a 13-inch. Now we're going to go a little smaller. It's about an 11-inch tail, okay? I don't want to go too far over that, okay? So, okay, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll split the difference. I'm going to do 12. 12-inch tail, okay? I've put it in here. Now I'm pinching and twisting so I see the other side of my ribbon. The back side, the icky side. And then we bring it over and we're going to make a loop. And we're going to make this one at like 6.5 inches. All right. And then I put it back in here and then I pinch and I twist it, right? So this is nice and loopy. That's about 6.5 inches. And then this is the back side. Okay. My tail's coming toward me. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in again. Doing 6.5 inch. All right. But I think I'm done. I think I'm just going to do 2 loops of that kind because I think I'm kind of changing what I'm doing here. Now, you know what? I'm going to do another set of loops. I told you I didn't think this out. All right, doing another set of loops. Okay, so it goes back again to 6.5 inches on the left. 6.5 over on the right. All right, and I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut the left one a little bit longer, okay, because I have to dovetail it. What is a dovetail? That means you take your 2 wired edges, you bend them together, and then you cut angled from the inside outward toward the wires. And you get a very pretty V shape. This keeps it from fraying, and it looks really nice. Nice and finished, okay? So I'm going to adjust my loops here. Because I like to see my bow as I'm building it out. I can control where those loops go. Wreath making is all about control. Something that I feel like I have none of anymore in other aspects of my life, but you know, when it comes to this, I'll take it. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna make another loop. What are we doing? We are gonna take yeah, because I don't want this to be too heavy on the 2.5 inch. So we're gonna take this. Again, I'm going to dovetail it. Boom. Just like that. Bringing it down. Now I'm going to do this tail about 1 inch shorter than the other one. So that would be about 11 inches. All right. Now if the previous ones were 6.5 inches, these are going to be 6 inch. All right. 6 inch, pinch and twist. 6-inch, pinch and twist. Six-inch again, pinch and twist. 6-inch again, pinch and twist, and then bring this down. All right, here we go. All right, thank you guys so much for joining. Andrea, thanks for joining. I hope you guys are having fun today. Here in Chicago, the weather's decent. It's probably like gonna hit close to 60. So, you know, we'll take it. I'm not gonna complain about 60. All right, here we go. All right, so then now I like to arrange it where the red loop should go between the black loops. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see what this is looking like so far. It's looking like this. Okay, so as you can kind of see, that's kind of what we're going for. All right, it's gonna be so cute. All right, now I have two 1.5-inch ribbons. Okay, I've got a red and I've got a black. I don't want to put the black and then the red because this is solid, so I'm going to use the red. All right, because I want to keep that cute pattern as the one that is on the top the most. So this is just a red, they call it a faux royal, just a nice standard old ribbon. Okay, so then this will be 10 inches because the tails went 12 inches, 11 inches, and now this is 10 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to whip this on through. All right. So these, I think I'm going to do this at 5.5 inches. Okay, 5.5, pinched and twist, 5.5, because I did 6.5, 6, and then this is 5.5. All right. Zoop. I love hearing that zoom sound as I yank it. Reminds me of when you were a kid and you put on your snowsuit and you zipped it all up. And then you realized you pinched your skin in it and then you screamed. All right, this one's going to come down. All right, and I cut that one just a little bit past where the other one was. Ah, that was not a good cut there, Linda. A little jagged. All right. Loop up, loop down, loop down, loop up. Okay, so the last layer now, I could do a bunch of different things. I could decide to put some loops on here, kind of again, the way the other ones were going, or I could just put a tail and a center loop and call that a day. So either way, I'm going to have a tail. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. There we go. So if I put this in here, I could do just a little loop, and then that's it. So I'm thinking I kind of might actually do that. I'm just going to do that. All right. If I start making more loops, then it's going to start making this puffier and bigger, and then it's going to just end up becoming a little larger than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to cut this down here. All right, but you see how we repeated that pattern at the very top? It makes it cohesive. It brings the back toward the front, and it ties it all together. All right, now I'm going to take a black zip tie, and then I'm going to get, I was using beige before. I'm just using a beige chenille stem on the back. Okay, so the important thing is when you pick up your bow off of here, I'm going to scooch it up just a little bit to get my hands underneath the bottom. But I want to push down on the top as I'm pulling up from the bottom. This is a giant BLT sandwich. I don't want to lose any layers of my BLT, all right? So I'm going to put that right on the back, okay? Held it in one hand. This is, I like to slide this right between my fingers. Bring that zip tie up and over. It's going to go over it because the chenille stem is in here, okay? And I'm going to pull. And I'm going to pull the shit out of it. There we go. The tighter you can pull on that, the tighter you can make this whole thing, the more your loops are going to pop. It's like a push-up bra, but for your loops. All right. Then I like to go and just give it a twist once just so it doesn't go sliding around on here, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna fluff this out, all right? Bring my tails down, the black layer of the tails, bringing my fingers all the way down on, pulling on the wires, okay? Kind of smoothing it out. That's what's kind of making it curl and give it that really nice shape. Okay. Got that center loop. I typically will take the bottom one and make that one scooch over to the left, and then the top one kind of goes to the right. So here we go. All right. Bring that up, up. All right, so you can see every loop. You have like a direct line of sight to every loop on here, okay? This one I want to pull up the top. Maybe I'll switch these around. Yeah, I'm going to switch these around. There we go. All right, because I wanted to have something kind of coming up here. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. So now I'm just going to take these two stems and I'm going to spear them right through the grapevine. Here's my center point. Okay, I'm going to go right here. Top one is proving to be a little difficult. I might have to get out my little metal tool. Oh wait, no, I see it poking through. I see it poking. Yay. Bottom one poking through. All right. I'm just going to move this around here so I have actual access to it. This is why this is called a wreath easel that this is on. This is a wreath easel, and I like these because I like the open back ones because I like to put my hands through the back. Okay, the tails are kind of coming in because I've got this space here. So that's how this is going to go. Nice and tight. Now I'm going to twist this. I'm going to keep my arm down. I don't know if I shaved my armpits this morning. Sorry. All right, here we go. All right. I'm going to poke that right back into the wreath. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to move this all to the side now because it's time to focus on our florals. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, the Miller's 25. Thank you for the gift. Jack, Joyce, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, my sweeties. Thank you, thank you. All right. I just want to remind everybody, all of my videos that I do, most of them anyway, they get backed up. They're all full-length videos, end up going onto YouTube. So if you miss something or you want to go back and look at something, I usually download it and then make a full video and then put it on YouTube because it stays there forever. All right. So here we go. Now what we're going to dress it up with, I'll show you what I got. I had a little bit of this just to add a little bit of funkiness. I wanted to bring some white in here with the white, something a little bit lighter because this is, you know, the red and black can get kind of dark. I also have, I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. These are from the at-home store. All right, they look just like this. All right, but these push up, so I don't have to keep it this long. I can, you know, push some of this up. And then there we go, right? Actually, I think I probably, let's put a little bit of this in there and see what this does before we put the florals, okay? So this, I like the at-home stores, got good florals. You know, for a budget, it's pretty good. This whole thing was $3.99, so that's not bad. All right. I just want to make sure that, like, around here, we get a lot of good stuff that kind of, there we go. See, it just kind of makes it, I don't know, airy, not whimsical, but it just feels like it's not real tight. It's just kind of like very natural, like, you know, like a wildflower, even though we're not putting wildflowers in here. Well, I do have some white ones. I might put one down here. The scary thing is just making sure once I have glue on my stems down here. The scary thing is just making sure once I have glue on my stems, I gotta be sure that I don't get any glue like I just did here. I just did it on my ribbon. If you do, what you do is let the glue set up just a little bit. Let it dry just a little bit, and then you can kind of like pick it off, right? There we go. It's like it never even happened. Like my first marriage. Okay, there we go. Bring some of this in. I'm only going to use one stem of this, okay? I'm not going to use too much. This is already up at the top. So I'm going to bring some of this up. Doo-doo-doo. Where are we going to go with this? A little bit more in there. See, I want to kind of try to bring some of it like down and separate it out. By all means, separate it out. Uh-oh, I lost a leaf. All right. Let's see where this is. All right. Here we go. Again, I use glue gun instead of glue pot because I tend to burn myself, and I don't like that. All right. I like this. You know, I bought a bunch of it and I wasn't really using a lot of this, so I'm kind of glad I started using it. I've got it, they've got like yellow, and I bought some in blue. I do have quite a bit more of it as well. All right. What I want to do is actually kind of, if you can see toward the top, like right here, like there's not much going on right here. So I want to add some up toward the top because it looks like it's missing some green right here. So we're gonna go in. There we go. That's giving us some pretty there. I've got 2 more of these. I do have another bush of this, so if I end up needing more, I can just go run over to my stash. That's why it pays to be a hoarder when it comes to craft supplies. There's nothing worse than deciding you have to run out to get something, and then what if they don't carry it anymore? My biggest fear. All right. Got that going through there. I just kind of feel like I need some like right at the top, you know? So, all right, I'm gonna push this all the way up. Push this up, push this up. I'm gonna go stick it in the top. Question is, which direction am I gonna want it to go? And I think I'm gonna want it to go this way. That's awfully up there. You know what? I think I want to do this. I grabbed another one of these. I just feel like it looks a little uneven without having something behind here, so we're going to do this. There. Just gives it enough, you know? Actually, maybe I'll end up pushing that to the other. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm pulling this one out. There we go. Just making some last minute decisions. I can always change my mind, right? It's my prerogative. It's like Bobby Brown taught us. It's my prerogative. All right. All right, I like that better. Now I'm going to go back and fix my bow. There we go. Because I was messing around and messing with it. All right. All right. Doing pretty good. I think I've decided I'm not going to do cascades. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is because I think I've got enough ribbon right now with the tails that I think we're good. Okay. And the cool thing is once we're done, like it's round, so we can hang it like this. We can hang it on the side. Lots of different things people can do with it. Okay. This I might save until later. May or may not use it. It depends how much coverage I can get from the roses. All right, so I'm going to move on next to red roses. All right, now these came from Joann. May she rest in peace. These are from Joann. The last purchase I made there. I will remember you. So sad. So sad. All right. But I like these because these are not huge blooms, but they're just big enough, you know. I don't want anything to be really overpowering here because, I mean, really the focal point here is we're focusing on our dog bow, right? That's kind of where we're supposed to be looking. All right. I took off the price tag. I'm classy. All right. Here we go, adding more. So the way I like to usually do the florals is I do one side, put one on one side and kind of on the other. Not symmetrical, but the reason I do it this way is because I want to make sure that I don't end up putting so much on one side and then I run out and don't have enough for the other side, okay? So that's why I do mine the way that I do. Okay? There we go. All right. I do, again, have more stems of this, but, you know, I don't want to use too much. Okay. Now I'm going to move up kind of toward the top. I think I want to make sure that we get to the top. I think I want to make sure that we get some good stuff added in here. Ooh, this is... Here we go. That one looks pretty. I'm gonna do another one. And I've got white as well. So we've got lots of different ones we're gonna put in here. Another one. And I've got white as well. So we've got lots of different ones we're gonna put in here. I don't like to have too many different types of flowers in an arrangement. And again, I don't want it to be completely symmetrical, right? Definitely think I'm going to add something up to the top, but I think it's going to be more of these smaller roses. Also from Joann. Every time I hold, I think of the Helena music video from My Chemical Romance. Most of you probably don't know who that is. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Now this one, this is a pretty one. It's got a little extra bud off to the side. So we've got a couple of them in here that look like that. So we're going to try to put that one. I feel like we need something kind of right around there. Oh, that looks pretty. But I want to bring it down a little bit because I don't want it in a straight line, you know. We don't want to do that. All right. Here is another beautiful rose. These are so pretty. Joann always had a really good selection when it came to the florals. Granted, they didn't go on the fact that they're going out of business, that their sales aren't marked down even more yet. They're, I think, kind of still a little bit high. Last time I was there, I think the florals were 40% off. I'm like, that's your normal spring, summer sale price, right? So I don't know, not a huge savings there yet. I'm sure we'll get there. All right. So I don't know, not a huge savings there yet. I'm sure we'll get there. All right. I want this one up toward the top. I know I said before I was going to stick with some smaller ones up there, but I think I want one. I want one up here. I think I want one. I want one up here. Okay, so now we are left with, we've got this smaller one, which is really pretty. You think? Well, you know what? I'm going to do the bigger one first, because I think I want to put it right down here. Okay. There's a spot. Let me angle this a little better now that I've kind of finished working on that thing. See, kind of right down here. It's kind of like a little dead zone. Come on, baby. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Pretty. I like it. I like it. All right, and then I got this one. Wow. We've used 2 whole bushes already. It's crazy. I know. I think I know where I want this one. There we go. Right up here. Right up here. There we go. All right. That's what we've got there. Now I've got a little bit of these smaller ones I'm going to put in just to add a little bit more, a couple little bit more red. And then I am going to add in the white because I feel like it needs to be brightened up a little bit. All right. These are really pretty. I like these. Oh, these lights are so hot. Super, super hot. We have this one. Right in here. That way when the bow separates, we can at least see a little bit of florals hanging out there. That was down there. That's good. Okay. Now let's go up top a little bit. Let's go add a little more touch of red on the top. Go right over here. No, that's not the spot, and I also left it too long, so hold on. Correcting myself on both counts. Here we go. Let's try it once more with feeling. Perfect, because then this pops right between those loops right there. Nice. All right. One more spot up toward the top, and then we're going to move to our white. I'm going to leave a little bit of the red in reserve just in case I find some that I feel like needs it a little bit later. Great. All right. So I should mention I will have this listed later tonight at sweetariadecor.com. That is my online shop. That's my Etsy store. I've got everything listed there. I even got wreath kits so you can make your own wreath. How's that? You can make your own. We like that. We like that. Okay. Yes, Teresa, I am selling this. So I'm not sure what the pricing is going to be. I got to go back and kind of figure it out. But I will have it listed online tonight. sweetariadecor.com. If you follow me, click the follow button, then you can go into my profile and there's a link tree. And then there's say Etsy shop. You just click on that. It's going to take you right there. I have a lot of stuff in my store right now. A lot. I have been making a lot. I'm also selling ribbon and mesh and other supplies too. I feel like we need to go in here a little bit. A little bit of something, something. Oh, yeah, I definitely like adding in the white. And I'm not going to do too much. All right, not too much, but just enough. So I used the bloom off of this one for something else, but so I trimmed off the rest of the stem, but I can still use this. right? I'm still going to use this somewhere in here. I'm just going to let that dry for now. All right, here we go. Sunny Florida, Sheila, hello. What part of Florida? I have, my in-laws live in Trinity, which is by Tampa. We love that area so much. It's so pretty. Just driving on 19 is not pretty. But, you know, that's all right. We know ways to drive around there to avoid it, so. All right. Ooh. Loving that. Now, I know for sure I want to go add some white up toward the top, okay? So let's gather some of this. And I always make sure to keep all the leaves on here because as much greenery as I can add into here, I want to hold on to the green. All right, so here we go. Push that in. There we go. So we got a little touch of white. These are just little touches of white, okay? Nothing major. All right. Now I also want to put some up right in here. I definitely can see that this is a spot I need some white. Ooh, this does not want to go. There we go. Now I bend it a little bit, bring it toward me. Perfect. It breaks up that spot between the red. I keep hitting the bow. I'm sorry. All right, got a little red here. I'm glad I saved some red because I do see a spot that I think needs some red. And it's kind of like right in here. Get in there a little bit more. Come on, keep going. Go. Yeah. There we go. There. Just wanted to have a little bit more red coming out. Okay, a little bit of white here. I need some white right in here. You see that spot? It's even got shadows there, so it's kind of literally crying out to be lightened up just a little bit. Well, not literally. If I actually heard these things talking to me, I think we would have to probably place an emergency call to my psychiatrist. Who is on speed dial. Okay. Here we go. Trying to make sure that this does not feel super dense. We don't want everything packed in there, right? We just want nice little touches. All right. I've got one more. I might as well use it. And I had another one of these where I pulled the stems off, so let me scoot that up. I'm going to add some glue so it doesn't move. All right. So I'm going to use, I've got two of these I put in. So this is the last actual white bloom. Now I think I'm going to use one of these down here just to add a little touch of white. So let me do that one first. All right. Doesn't need a whole lot, just a little light touch. Kind of like right in here. There we go. I think the other one, I need to add a little bit of white, kind of like right down sort of in there. And then we're almost done. This didn't take that long. I don't know. I'm hot and sweaty, so it did kind of feel like it took forever, but that's just because menopause. Yay, menopause! Yay! No one cheers for that shit. Definitely not me. All right, our last white one I think has to go, it's got to go over here. I feel it. It told me where it wanted to go. Yep. Bring it up. I am going to hit it with a little bit of extra glue right here because it's on the outside. I can see where it went in. Just want to make sure that that one is extra super secure. And then I can go back, and if I see anything that is sticking out past where I want it to be, I can just go back and snip it off because I don't want anything scratching anybody's door. And then I can go hit it with a little extra glue. That is why, ultimately, I always prefer the glue gun, just because it's more versatile and portable. All right, putting that there, hitting that up with some glue right there. All right, I'm gonna go give a little mini vasectomy right here. Snip. Oh, so sorry. Oh no. There you go. All right. Sometimes you even need to trim the actual twigs that come off of the grapevine too. But, okay guys, I got one left. I'm not going to leave just one. All right, I got to figure out where do I want this one to go. Where do I want this going? I want it under there. I want it under there. We might not be able to see it too much, but I just feel like it needs to be here. Yay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes to the whole thing. Yes, I love it all. Yes. Perfect. All right. Now I can fluff my bow and know that I'm not going to mess it up anymore. I'm glad I decided not to do cascades. I think this is enough pattern already. I am going to actually trim this one a little bit. Okay. Actually, I think I can trim it a little more along with the one on the other side. Yeah. All right. My scissors, I'm not doing too good there. There we go. Okay. Little tiny bit off this one. Just a hair. Just a hair. All right. Let me bring these out. Curl them want to go out toward us. So then it falls back in with a really pretty curl. All right. All right. This is our finished product here. Ashley! Hey, Ashley, how's it going? Oh, I'm so happy you caught me live. I wasn't even planning to go live. I was supposed to be seeing the Marvels movie right now. But my daughter changed her mind and wouldn't go with me. No one to. I would go alone, but I had no one to watch her. So I'm a little ticked off at her right now. But that's okay. That's okay, because I got to come home and make this. Awesome. Leslie, hi. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go back. I got to see everybody. Sheila, Allie, Teresa. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, so this is going to be listed at sweetariadecor.com. I'm going to go measure it. I will take the pictures now. I will have it up within 10 minutes, okay? I promise. I will have it up within 10 minutes, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching me. Please follow along if you like this. I also have a YouTube channel. Go follow me there because that's where everything will be backed up to. And then I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Facebook Mondays at noon Central and then also Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend and go watch a fun movie tonight. Make it a movie night. Have some popcorn for me. All right? Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. You can follow me on social media and shop my items at sweetariadecor.com.